Well, welcome to Hamilton County TV Coaches Show, and I got a very happy coach here. Jake Gilbert has won once again another sectional. So congratulations, Coach.
Thanks, Perry. Glad to have you again for another week. It means you're still playing. So.
Yeah, that's right. It's always good when you're playing in November, right?
Absolutely. It's a blessing
Yeah,
and an honor.
Certainly is. Let's talk a little bit about your game against the Millers, because it was maybe a little bit better game than the score.
Sure. Well, 6-3 at half. Typical game with Noblesville. This is the 8th time that we've played Noblesville in 4 years, so I feel like we've been in these types of games, and our kids just did a great job of not panicking at halftime. I felt like that was key to the game. It was 6-3. We were down. We've been down at halftime probably more than any other 10-win team I've ever witnessed. But we, we're just kind of kept our poise and kept playing. I thought for what we could control, we did just fine. Noblesville had 3 possessions. We held them to 2 field goals, 6 points. I was very happy with the defense. Offensively, our first drive was excellent. We just stalled in the red zone. So, obviously you want to get 7 there, but we got 3. We had another attempt that, we missed a field goal. We just needed to convert in the red zone a little bit better. We did have a second drive, though, in that first half, which really we had to punt. We just had 3 penalties on one drive, and so that was the equivalent of a turnover. One was an offensive pass interference, which I thought was a horrible call, but it ended our drive. So in terms of what we could control, I thought we did just fine, and we knew, though, the second half we were going to win the game. Second half, I really thought special teams was the difference. We kept the ball out of Schaffner's hands in special teams, which was the goal. Logan's a tremendous player, and he doesn't need any help with us getting him the ball. We punted the ball well enough because, again, the biggest goal was to make sure Schaffner didn't get it. We kicked touchbacks. But then we got 2 turnovers on special teams, and so we scored on both of those on the short field. So we were good in the red zone in that sense, and we turned those into touchdowns, and that was really the difference in the game. And then the last play of the game there, we faked the field goal, which was a little risky, but I thought it could put a nail in the coffin, and I thought it was there, and we did it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Coach, another sectional championship. What is this now?
Well, it's our 8th in 11 years,
Yeah.
which only 6 programs can say that. I believe it's Center Grove, Warren Central, Lutheran, Cathedral, Bloomington South, and us. So that's pretty good company.
It's a pretty good crowd to be running with, to be quite
and I think we've had a hard road, to be honest. I do think some teams, just because of the geography of things, have a little easier road, and then those teams obviously still win later in the playoffs, so they deserve it. But we have had to fight through these HCC teams in Carmel, it's not an easy way to win a sectional, and I think for us to win 4 in a row, just really proud of our kids and our coaches, because that's been a fight to do so. And sometimes, Perry, when you've had success over time, what is just a step in the process for your program and your fans, like, oh yeah, hey, win the sectional, beat Noblesville. Well, shoot, you're going against teams that would make them heroes if they could do that. And so for your team to buckle down and want it more, and then a team that this could be the whole goal, even though it's just a step in the process for your goals, that's hard to do every year. And so, our seniors are going to graduate with 4 sectionals, and having never lost to Noblesville, Zionsville, or Carmel at any level. 2nd grade up, and so I just couldn't be happier for our seniors, and that's an amazing group of kids that have come through. That they're all homegrown. We don't have any move-ins that didn't play for us like in middle school, and they're not amazing athletes really. They're just good, solid kids, and we have 1 Division I player, William Goodvine, and that's it, and so I just feel great about our seniors and the culture.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, once again, congratulations. But you have another common opponent and a common foe that you have played
Yeah, for
against
sure.
quite a few times, and
This will be number 7
Yeah.
against HSC in 4 years, so we're not exactly strangers
yeah.
to them either.
And Coach Kelly does a great job, and he seems to have that team
Yeah.
rolling in the right direction now. So let's talk a little bit about that game, because you had a great game with them,
Yep.
the first one.
Well, first of all, they're extremely well coached. Mike is a tremendous coach, and their staff is, so they're going to be prepared. And Dave White's calls the offense. He does a great job. Their special teams defense are solid. So they're ultra talented. They've got D1 folks all over the place. I mean, they're talented, well coached, and they're hungry because we beat them on the last play. So, you know, last year they beat us twice, knocked us out. The year before that, we beat them twice, and we knocked them out, and we beat them in 2020. I mean, so it's kind of been a back and forth type of rivalry. We beat them this year, but again, it came down to the last play of the game. I mean, it was as close as a game can be, you know, and so these are two very even teams who understand what this is, and so I think you'll see a whale of a football game Friday night.
Yeah, I think so. It should be a good one. One thing, Coach, let's talk about, because we off the air we discussed this a little bit, but talk about, you know, some of those things that in your off season, you know, you were talking about. These are a bunch of guys that
Yeah.
there's not, you know, a ton of D1 football players
Right.
going places, but talk a little bit about your off season. And I know everybody has things like this,
Sure.
but talk a little bit about how hard you work during the off season, and that
Yeah.
causes you to win during the season.
Well, we are a development program here, and we have to develop our guys, and we would certainly take some move-ins, but we don't get as many high school move-ins here as what people think, because the price to live here now has become outrageous. And, you know, that may change as they're building apartments and various things in Westfield, but so far, you know, over the last couple of years, I'd say we've had one varsity starter move in, 2. We had a kicker as well. I forgot Caleb and Trayvon. So we've had a couple, but not many. So we have to develop our guys, and I'm happy to do so. The biggest key in that is that when you extend your season in the playoffs, your guys get all those extra practices. So these seniors have had 3 years of extra practice from us winning sectionals and beyond. You know, their freshman, sophomore year went to state, so they were a lot of extra practice. And then just all the off-season development. I'm not sure that we're the only ones who work hard.
Sure.
I know we're not. HSC works very hard too, but we have a special strength coach, Tavio Henson. He's amazing, and so I do believe we're getting the most out of our kids. So in terms of the full potential of our kids between our staff and Coach Henson in the weight room, I do think what you see is the best we can offer, and that's what it's really about, Perry. I mean, sometimes you have the horses, sometimes you don't, you know, and great players make for a great football coach.
Right.
Well, but all of us need to try to maximize the talent we do have, and I think we've done a pretty good job with that.
Yeah, absolutely. I wanted to touch on that a little bit. So you're playing at home this week, right?
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while.
Been over a month, so excited for our kids to get another chance. I mean, our playing home here is special for us, and we've got such a great following, and you know, I'm thrilled for that. I want Southeastern to have to come over here for one, but at the same time, I'm just thrilled that our kids get another home game and get to experience that.
Well, that's good, Coach. Well, I really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to do this interview, and I guess I'll see you next week.
Yeah, I hope so. I appreciate it. Go Rocks.